questions we get the most about Epic Universe is how much is it going to cost? Hello everybody, welcome. Today we're going to break down everything that we know about Epic Universe ticket prices, VIP vacation packages, and annual passes, as well as just when we might be able to start buying them. Epic Universe is slated to open in early 2025, sometime between the March and April timeframe is what we're looking at, with soft launches and previews beginning as early as January or February of 2025. So we are less than about 6 months away from Epic Universe being open. So of course everybody wants to know how much is it going to cost and how do I get my hands on some tickets. Now we know that there are two Universal Epic Universe hotels opening in early January and February, January 21st and February 25th of 2025, and that's the Stella Nova and the Terra Luna hotels respectively. But we're also going to be getting the Helios Grand hotel, which we are expecting to open around the same time frame, if not just shortly after. And we'll talk about why that's important when the Helios Grand opens a little bit later. But first, let's jump right into the Epic Universe ticket prices and how they will likely work. Based on all the information that we're getting, it looks like the single day tickets are going to work in possibly two ways. And the first is that there may actually not be any single day tickets for Epic Universe. Based on Islands of Adventure opening and the two Wizarding World areas, we know that Universal is concerned about the capacity at Epic Universe. So it is very possible that they may not even be offering single day tickets. Instead, they are going to try to encourage people to go to multiple parks and do extended stays, which means we're likely to see 3 or more day 2 to 3 park passes that have an additional 1 day of Epic Universe. So a 3-day 2-park pass that allows you to access Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure may have a 1-day ticket on it for Epic Universe. So instead of buying a single day ticket for just Epic Universe, they are going to be bundling it with the other parks to encourage people to actually go to Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure to relieve some of the pressure of everybody trying to go to Epic Universe at the same time. So instead of offering a multi-day ticket that people could use all their days at Epic Universe, it will be restricted to be able to use those days at Universal Islands of Adventure or Universal Studios with an additional 1 or 2 days that you can use for Epic Universe. Now there may also be larger packages, 4-day, 5-day, 6-day, 7-day packages that maybe give you 2 days at Epic Universe or 3 days of Epic Universe. Like I said, Universal is concerned about the capacity constraints at Epic Universe. They learned a lot from their Islands of Adventure and their Wizarding World opening dates. Way back in 1999 when they opened Islands of Adventure, they actually opened Islands of Adventure in a soft launch format for several weeks and months before they even actually announced the opening date for Islands of Adventure. So people were actually getting soft launch previews, being able to go into Islands of Adventure and experience it before they had actually even given the opening date for the park. So we are likely to see the same thing for Epic Universe. They learned a lesson from Universal Studios way back in 1990 because a lot of the attractions weren't really functioning properly when they opened Universal Studios in Orlando. They had a lot of issues, so much so that guests were leaving and requesting refunds. They were demanding refunds. So they learned a lot from that. For Islands of Adventure, they did a long soft launch for that. It really helped to sort of disperse the crowds. People were able to get in with the soft launches. And then eventually they actually announced a grand opening date. So the second possibility, of course, is they will offer single day tickets. So let's talk a little bit about how the pricing there will work. Universal Studios, when it opened in 1990, had a $30 ticket price, which went up on average about $1 per year. So about $1 or $2 every year that went by. So when we got to about 1999, when they opened Islands of Adventure, the price had gotten to around $40. And I'm sitting there thinking back, $40 to get into Universal and Islands of Adventure? Yeah, I'd like to see those prices back. Islands of Adventure opened May 28th of 1999, and the ticket price had risen to about $46 per person per day. Which means the price when they opened a brand new park went from Universal Studios to Islands of Adventure, opened an entirely new park, the price only went up about $5 or $6. That's it. I'm just going to tell you right now, that is not what we're going to see with Epic Universe. It is going to be totally different. The landscape back then with Islands of Adventure opening was completely different than where we are today. When Islands of Adventure opened, there was a huge demand of people there at Islands of Adventure. They were supposed to open at 9 o'clock a.m. They actually ended up opening hours earlier because there were so many people at the gate. However, after that initial influx, the actual attendance really started to drop off. When Universal originally opened Islands of Adventure, they were hoping that Islands of Adventure would really bring in a lot more crowds and would raise a lot of their attendance because they had sort of a sagging attendance at Universal Studios. Unfortunately, Islands of Adventure really didn't do what they hoped it would do when they first opened it. It didn't significantly raise the attendance. They didn't get a ton of influx of additional dollars. And I'm not saying Islands of Adventure was a failure. It's just not quite as, wasn't as successful as they kind of hoped it would be. And just to give you an idea, at Islands of Adventure during opening day, the average wait time for the rides was about 40 minutes. During opening day of Islands of Adventure, 40 minutes. I mean, the average wait time at Islands of Adventure now is probably 40 minutes or higher. And I'm sure you could probably guess what the most popular ride was during that opening. Of course, it was Spider-Man, The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man, still one of the most iconic rides ever made. There's a reason why it won the best theme park attraction for like, I don't even remember, 9-10 years in a row or something crazy. Because today it still holds up, it's still amazing technology. But the huge boom in attendance and the raising of the prices didn't really happen until Wizarding World of Harry Potter, until they introduced Hogsmeade and then Diagon Alley. Wizarding World Hogsmeade opened June 18th of 2020, and the Wizarding World Diagon Alley opened July 8th of 2014. When they opened the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Hogsmeade over on the Islands of Adventure, that's when attendance really started to skyrocket and their prices really started to go along with it. In 2010, we were looking at about an $82 per ticket, per person, per day price, with a $144 two-day, two-park pass, which still was fairly reasonable, not too bad. But then when Diagon Alley opened, that was when we really started to see the ticket prices go up. In 2014, when Diagon Alley opened, the one-day, one-park ticket went from $92 to about $96, only a $4 increment. The one-day, two-park pass went from $128 to $136, which is only about an $8 increase. Here's where the price really went up, and that was for the two-day, two-park pass. That went from $165 to $195, which is about a $30 increase. And the reason for that was because this park pass was going to be the most popular, allowing people to visit both parks simultaneously in the same trip. So a two-day, two-park, being able to spend one day in one park, one day in the other park. And then also they added the Hogwarts Express, the train that takes you between the two Wizarding Worlds, and you needed a park-to-park pass. You needed a two-day, two-park pass in order to be able to actually go between those two lands and experience that train. You had to have that sort of park hopper option. So Universal knew that was going to be the most popular one, and so they really boosted the price on that one. And your discounts really didn't start happening until after that two-day, two-park. And what's interesting that a lot of people don't know is just before Diagon Alley opened, a few months prior, Disney actually raised their prices significantly because they were expecting a huge influx of people going to Diagon Alley. I think they learned a lesson from the Wizarding World Hogsmeade opening, and when Diagon Alley opened, they realized there's going to be a lot of people coming into Orlando to experience Diagon Alley. So Disney, expecting larger crowds, wanted to capitalize off of that, so they raised their ticket prices to account for it because they knew people would go to Universal, but also probably go over to Disney at the same time. So when Epic Universe opens, we might actually see a jump in prices when it comes to Disney World as well, as again, they are expecting large crowds, people to come down to Epic Universe. However, they may not increase their prices. They may actually add discounts because unlike Diagon Alley, with Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure, it still was kind of considered a weekend park, meaning people would go there for 2 or 3 days, and then they'd spend the rest of their time maybe over at Disney World. With Epic Universe coming along, I think people are going to just do Universal Epic Universe type vacations and not actually go over to Disney at all. So we might actually see some discounts with Disney. So before we get to the expected prices, I also do want to mention that there is also the possibility that Universal might institute a park reservation system for Epic Universe specifically. Very similar to what Disney has today. Disney introduced a reservation system for their parks around the COVID timeframe, trying to limit capacity in the parks. And the reservation system went into effect and was there for quite a period of time, which they've since backed off on, and the reservation system is really only used currently for annual pass holders. It is possible Universal will institute some sort of reservation system to ensure that only a certain capacity can get into Epic Universe so it doesn't go crazy. However, it's also possible that they will institute their return time ticket experience, which is what they used for Diagon Alley. Essentially, visitors could enter the park and they could go to a kiosk or a particular location and they could actually pick up a return time ticket. So there was a long line that actually would take you into the park and head over towards Diagon Alley. They'd have special queues set up, but lots of directions, signs telling you where to go. And then you could interact with a kiosk to actually get a return time ticket. You could tell them how many people you had. It would give you a time to return. When your return window was ready, you could actually head over and get into Diagon Alley. So it's possible that they'll do something like that, maybe in Celestial Park, let people into Celestial Park, but some of the particular zones or lands like Dark Universe may actually have some sort of return time ticket thing. So one of those two possibilities, either reservation system, hitting max capacity and not letting people in, or potentially doing some sort of return time ticket experience. So let's go through the single base ticket prices first for the one park tickets. Current ticket prices at Universal and Islands of Adventure: 1 day one park is $119. 2 day one park is $232, or roughly $116 per day. 3 day one park is $255 or $85 per day. 4 day one park is $272 or $68 per day. And the 5 day one park is $290, basically $58 per day. For a 2 park pass, being able to go to Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure, the 1 day 2 park pass is currently $174. 2 day 2 park pass is $292 or $146 per day. 3 day 2 park ticket is $315 or $105 per day. 4 day 2 park ticket is $336 or $84 per day. And the 5 day 2 park ticket is $360 or $72 per day. So the pricing structure that they established back during the Diagon Alley days is pretty much continued to this day. And essentially that is that you don't get much of a discount at Universal Studios Islands of Adventure until you get to beyond the 2 day 2 park ticket. The discounts really start hitting around the 3 day 2 park or 3 day 3 park and beyond ticket prices. So your 1 day 1 park or your 1 day 2 park are going to be the most expensive. 2 day 2 park, 2 day 1 park are going to be also expensive, and it's not till you get to that 3rd day where you start getting some discounts. And that's because there are basically 2 theme parks, and it makes sense. Yes, Volcano Bay is in there too. Volcano Bay is a little bit cheaper than the standard day ticket prices for Universal and Islands of Adventure, but essentially there are 2 theme parks. So that 2 day pass is going to be the most expensive because they're expecting people to go to one and then go to the other 2 days. With Epic Universe, that's going to change. It's going to move to that 3 day sweet spot. So once you get to the 3 day 3 park experience, that's when the prices are going to start to be discounted. So you're not going to start seeing those steeper discounts on your stays until you get to about that 4th day and beyond. Again, as we said earlier, this is Universal's way to incentivize people to buy more days and stay for longer to get those discounts. It's really not unlike Disney World, where Disney World, it is very expensive to go for 1 to 3 to 4 to 5 days. And you don't really start getting good pricing until you get to the 7, 8, 9, and 10 days. Because Disney World, it really incentivizes long stays, 7 day or more stays. That's where you start seeing the steepest discounts. So Universal is going to start doing that as well. So if you're hoping to go to Universal, maybe do a day at Epic Universe, you're going to be paying a lot more than you would if you tried to stay for a longer period of time. So based on everything we're hearing and seeing, we're expecting about a 25 to 35% lift in prices when it comes to these tickets, with the discount shifting to 4 days and plus. So here's what it's gonna look like for the 3 park ticket, not 4 park. 4 park would be Volcano Bay included. So for the 3 park tickets, we're looking at these prices. For a 1 day 3 park pass, we're expecting around $235 for that ticket. A 2 day 3 park ticket will be around $394 or $197 per day. A 3 day 3 park ticket is at $514 or $171 per day. And then the 4 day 3 park ticket will be around $535 or $134 per day. Again, this is where you're going to see that shift happen. This is where the discounts really start hitting. And then a 5 day 3 park ticket at $556 or $111 per day. And if we compare those prices to Disney with their 4 parks, For a one-day pass to all of the parks with the Park Hopper option, Disney is at $244. For a 2-day, it's $402. For a 3-day, it's around $550. 4 days is $674, and 5 days is $735. And you can see how Disney prices theirs. They don't really start giving you steep discounts until you're well beyond the 5, 6, 7, and 8 days. The further out you're getting, better discounts, better prices. So that's our best guess to what the single day and multi-day tickets are going to be like should they start offering them. However, we do want to talk about two other things. Annual passes we'll get to, but the next thing I want to talk about is what's most likely to happen, which is the sort of VIP vacation packages for Epic Universe. When the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Hogsmeade opened, it was a free-for-all. Guests got in line. There was massive lines all around City Walk. I mean, it was huge. I mean, I was there. I was there for opening day for Hogsmeade. I was there for opening day Islands of Adventure. I was there for opening day Diagon Alley. And they were all different experiences. Hogsmeade opening day was insane. Absolutely insane. The line was literally wrapped all through City Walk. I mean, and it was a free-for-all. When Diagon Alley opened up, Universal actually made some changes. And one of the big changes that they made was they offered a VIP hotel package deal for Diagon Alley. And that package started at about $155 per adult per day. And that VIP package started about a week prior to actual Diagon Alley opening. So what you got with that was you actually got early access into Diagon Alley. So prior to even the grand opening, you got early access into Diagon Alley, which again was different from the Wizarding World Hogsmeade. So Hogsmeade, they were doing soft launches and previews and letting people come in and experience it without having any sort of VIP package. They let you do everything and experience the entire Hogsmeade area without doing the VIP package. With the VIP package that they introduced with Diagon Alley, they still did soft launches and previews and allow people to go into Diagon Alley. But the big difference is they didn't let anyone ride Gringotts who did not have a VIP package. We actually were there. We did not have the VIP package. We just happened to be there on vacation during that grand opening, that week before grand opening. So we got to experience all of Diagon Alley, but we didn't get to ride Gringotts, which was super unfortunate because we ended up having to come back for the grand opening the next day because we wanted to ride Gringotts, which was a massive mistake. And I'll tell you why. Because of this VIP vacation package, everyone who purchased this package got to also attend the grand opening and get into a separate line that also allowed them early access into Diagon Alley prior to all the rest of us standing over in the normal line. So we got to City Walk, I don't even remember, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and we started lining up, and we were really near the front of the line to get into the park and go to Diagon Alley, and I was pumped. Over the next several hours, I saw the other line get bigger and bigger and bigger. Just a massive stream of people. I mean, I don't even know, thousands and thousands of people who had purchased this package. And before they let any of us in, they let all of them in. So that meant by the time we got let in and we went to Diagon Alley, which we went straight there, we didn't have to wait to get into the land per se. We had to wait a little while, but not too long. The line wasn't horrible to get in. We didn't have to do the return time ticket. By the time we got to Gringotts, which was the only thing we wanted to do because we had seen everything else at Diagon Alley, we ended up waiting 7 hours to ride Gringotts. 7 hours for one ride. So this VIP vacation package is hugely important if you want to experience the park early and experience it in its fullness, especially during the grand opening time frame. I am highly expecting Universal to offer something very similar for Epic Universe. So here's what I'm expecting this VIP package to offer based on what we've seen in the past and the things that were offered before. The first thing is the hotel stays. I'm guessing this is probably going to be around a 4 to 7 day hotel stay, most likely at the Stella Nova or the Terra Luna hotels, because those are going to be the more budget-friendly hotels, and they're going to be driving people into those spaces. They used Cabana Bay originally. It was a brand new hotel. Cabana Bay had just opened for the Diagon Alley package. I expect them to do something similar for the Stella Nova and Terra Luna. This will also give you early access into Epic Universe prior to the opening date, and even after opening date you will get early access into Epic Universe, meaning an hour or two earlier than everybody else. It's also likely to include a special meal of some kind, some sort of meal at a sit-down restaurant, one of the dining locations in Epic Universe of your choice, some sort of special opening day keepsake or merchandise you'll get along with that. So the price tag for this VIP package staying at Stella Nova or Terra Luna, I'm expecting to be around $200 to $300 per adult per night. And a little bit earlier I talked about Helios Grand and the importance of that hotel opening around the same time as the Stella Nova and Terra Luna, or just shortly after but prior to the grand opening, is because I believe they will also be offering a VIP package for people staying at the Helios Grand. As part of the Diagon Alley special VIP opening package, they did allow you to actually upgrade and stay at one of the more premier hotels, which significantly increased the price of that package, but it was available. You could stay at those other premier hotels. Right now, I'm estimating around $700 to $1,200 per adult per night, which is super expensive, but could very well be worth it because it includes all of the access to Epic Universe, and staying at Helios Grand overlooking the entire park could be phenomenal. The other thing that is possible is that anyone hoping to stay at Helios Grand within the first few weeks of it opening during Epic Universe, they may actually not allow anybody to book just hotel stay at Helios Grand. They may force you to do some sort of VIP package. So if you're hoping to stay at Helios Grand, you may actually be forced to buy this VIP package to stay there within the first few weeks. We'll have to wait and see because they haven't formally announced it, but that's my expectations. One of those two things will happen. The last thing I want to cover is annual passes. Everybody wants to know what's going to happen with the annual passes. Just like before with Islands of Adventure, they essentially added a park to that option. So it went from a, annual pass 1 park to an annual pass 2 park, and then Volcano Bay came along and there's an annual pass 3 park. So they're going to do the same thing here. It'll be an annual pass 4 park. And at this point, even with Epic Universe coming along, I highly doubt we're going to see annual pass prices higher than what Disney currently has. So let's just do a quick breakdown of what the annual passes look like at Disney and Universal today. Right now, Universal's current 2-park Premier Pass, which is their highest tier, is $905. The 2-park Preferred Pass is $630. The 2-park Power Pass is $475. And the 2-park Seasonal Pass is $425. The big difference between those different tiers is significant blockout dates in each of those passes. Only the Premier Pass at the very top has no blockouts. So on the other side, the Disney annual passes, the Disney Incredit Pass, which is their most premier pass, is $1,449. The Disney Sorcerer Pass is $999. The Disney Pirate Pass is $799, and the Disney Pixie Pass is $439. And one of the big differences that Disney has is that if you are not a Florida resident, you cannot purchase anything other than their Incredit Pass. Versus Universal, they allow you to buy any of their passes regardless of where you live. So if we take into account the addition of the 3rd park there, we can expect these prices to go up for the annual passes. So what we're looking at for the new annual price passes, for a Premier Pass, it's going to be around $1,221. Preferred Pass at $850. Power Pass could go up to around $641, but might only go up to about $500. Let me talk about that in a second. Seasonal Pass at $574, or potentially only $450. And the reason and the difference in those prices is that it is possible that the Power and Seasonal Passes for Universal will not include the ability to go to Epic Universe in the beginning. It's possible that in order to use the annual pass for Epic Universe, you may need to purchase the Preferred or the Premier Pass at a minimum to be able to go to that. And there still may be blockout dates for Epic Universe for even the Premier and the Preferred passes. So overall, we're still below Disney's prices. So if you're going to want to experience all of Universal Studios, Islands of Adventure, Epic Universe, Volcano Bay, the whole thing, you're going to be looking at around $1,221 with no blockout dates and not have to worry about any of that, $1,221 versus Disney's $1,449 for their 4-park pass. And that is not including their water parks, because additionally there's a water park and more fun option that you can add onto your annual passes that is an additional cost for the water parks. So that's about $228 cheaper still for the best Epic Universe, Universal Islands of Adventure pass, including Volcano Bay. So experiencing everything Universal is $228 around there cheaper than Disney's Max Pass, which also doesn't even include the water parks. So still, huge bang for the buck if these prices hold true. Again, this is just based on all the information we're gathering, all the things we're hearing, and looking back at historical records of how they've handled the pricing in the past. We will know for sure here, I'd say probably in the next month or two, we should get the final pricing on what these things are going to be ending up with and the potential vacation packages. We've still got this month, we're expecting the Wizarding World Ministry of Magic announcement to happen. So once that is off the books, once they've got that out, all of Epic Universe will be complete. We'll know everything inside. All the announcement videos will be done. So the only thing left from that point is giving us the opening dates and the pricing. So again, I believe there will be a long soft launch / preview time frame, which is going to allow people to get into Epic Universe earlier, even before it's even announced. They probably will have soft launches before they even announce the opening date. We'll see. It'll give people a chance to sort of trickle into Epic Universe and experience it without it having to be so overloaded on opening day. So that's my prediction. That's how I think it's all gonna go down. Please let me know what you think down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Lots of additional information, lots of other videos down in the description about everything that is coming to Epic Universe, and including potential Epic Universe expansion plans and new theme parks beyond Epic Universe. Be sure to like, subscribe, share. Until I see you next time, the noble way is the easy way. Bye-bye, everybody.